All right, I guess we're recording now. Yeah, hi everybody. We have a handful of people on here. I'm sure there'll be some more showing up here in a bit. What today, the purpose of today was to really go into more detail on some things I'm doing, in particular the new plugins that are centered around PhoneArray.com, which is my website. I'll go into some of the background on that, um, and then vision for the future. And also, I want to hear your questions, um, get feedback, suggestions, all that sort of thing, so that I can continue to improve this, and you guys can kind of shape the direction of where all this goes. So, okay. Yeah, feel free to throw questions in there. I don't have anyone helping me out on this today. Like I said, there's not a lot of people, but go ahead and throw your questions. If I pause, I'm probably reading, trying to catch up and that sort of thing. Okay, so let's jump back about a year and a half ago, getting close to a year and a half. This was the picture, the trees you see here. This was looking at my front, the kind of the front of my house, looking out the front window or door. I took this outside, and it's currently my Facebook, banner image. But many of you know that we had a fire last year here in Colorado, second year in a row, and this whole area pretty much got wiped out. And this was what was left of our house. Again, I'm not sure. Let me know if you're getting updated or not on the images. Again, my upload speed's a little slow, but this is my family. This is what where our house used to be, and the all this forest back in here. We just had a beautiful location. We loved living here, and we had 20 acres behind us. That was part of this neighborhood that we lived in. There were 8 homes on the street. 6 of those 8 homes burned, and and then all the woods back here, the treed area. We had a creek. There's a nice creek, just some hills. It was just beautiful. I love to just take a break and go walk back there. But this was us shortly after the fire. This has been rebuilt now. It is not our house. We were renting this place, and we had intended to buy it eventually. And it was owned by friends of ours. Long story short is we don't live here now. Our friends rebuilt and moved back in just because of the way everything worked out financially for them. It worked better for them to move back in. So in one way that was good for us because we didn't have to move back into this burnt out forest here, because it's just devastated here now. But we do still live out in Black Forest, northeast of Colorado Springs, and in a beautiful area. Again, we're in a lease. It's short term. It's not where we want to be long term, but we are comfortable, and we pretty much have everything we need now. Our community was very supportive, church, etc., friends. So no, we don't lack anything in that regard. So, all right, let's see. Let's jump into, yeah. And thank you again. I'm often asked how we're doing, and I appreciate that. So, but we are doing great. Um, I wanted to go. The purpose of this webinar is to go deeper into this brander, plugin brander. Now, it's pretty straightforward. It's not complex as far as how you use it, I don't think, but it's pretty. I think it opens up a lot of doors for people to make make additional income in ways maybe you weren't able to before. Because one, you have the plugin themselves, the plugins that you can use and resell your service, where you do text message marketing, MMS, lead generation, that type of thing, and people pay you for that. But now with this, you also, and there's some overlap too, as far as you can brand these things. So the other angle is just selling the plugin itself, which I think a lot of you on this call have already jumped on board with this and are already using it, and you have access to this already. But if you don't, just I'll provide a link here in a little bit where you can get on board with that. But so again, selling the plugins. If you once you sign up here, you have the right to resell the plugins. This could work for clients. Let's say you have a client and they want to just do it all themselves and they don't have the software, and maybe you just don't want to manage it for them. Maybe you just want to sell it to them. You could sell it to them for whatever you like, whether that's a few dollars or a couple $100. It doesn't matter to me. That's up to you. So we're going to go into a little more depth here. I do also want to give a little background on how these plugins came about. There are two plugins. Let me bring them back up here. The first plugin I released to my clients was this MMS marketer. And that was a tool for sending images mainly and for lead generation purposes. And the main obvious niche for that was real estate agents, those in real estate, not people that are selling to real estate agents now. So you could probably think of some other niches for that or other ways to use that, but that's kind of the big obvious one, I think. Now, there's the second one that came out, which was the mobile, what I call mobile marketer, which is slightly different. It's more geared towards lists and managing those lists. It is also capable of text message, or I'm sorry, of the image replies. So you could send an image coupon or that type of thing. So that has that in common. Those two plugins have that aspect in common. However, this plugin is not yet set up for like lead notification and managing leads and that type of thing. So there's a lot of overlap, and some of you asked, well, why create a separate plugin and that sort of thing. And the story, there is a little bit of a story behind that, because I understand some of you are like, well, I just bought MMS marketer. Mobile marketer is very similar, but it's missing the broadcasting, and why should I have to buy another one? I only had a couple of people ask about that, but I did want to address it. The main reason for that is the first plugin I created was actually this one, this mobile, the mobile marketer. However, I created it in a kind of a joint venture, what was supposed to be a launch, and that launch never happened because the people I was working with, they were putting their own unique twist on how to use it, and it was kind of an interesting angle on it. But anyway, I think because of that, it created some confusion, and it just kind of fizzled. So that never got launched, and so I'm just providing it. So while I had that waiting in the wings, it kept getting delayed. I'm like, I have to do some things to help pay the bill. So I created another plugin, the MMS Marketer plugin, to help keep our bills paid, at least try to, and get that out to out into the market as its own separate thing without competing directly with the first one, because I wasn't sure the status. Anyway, long story. Now they're both out there, and there is a bunch of overlap, but that's there was some reasons that it happened like that. And I do have another plugin in development, which let me show you just briefly. This is in development right now, but it's a call tracker plugin, and this one will be available hopefully within the next few days. It is something, one of my plugins, my older plugins, does this type of thing. See, what I'm doing is a little more of the background story is that I created, most of you know, I've created these plugins. I have older plugins I've created for the past several years. And the problem with that is that they were one-time payment plugins. And so it was hard to keep that up, keep enough sales up to keep our bills paid, and being able to invest in continued development and all that. So, but I sold a lot of them, but a lot of them were ripped off as well. So every time I do a plugin, it's on the Black Hat website. People are sharing it and downloading it for free, and I never get paid. And I just know that's just part of the way things work. I don't actually, it doesn't even necessarily bother me. That's just kind of the world we're in, I guess. But so I referred a ton of business to Twilio. A lot, you probably are all familiar with Twilio, which is behind the scenes and all this stuff. The first plugins I created were an interface directly with Twilio. And there were so many of those plugins out there. I referred so much business to Twilio. Twilio earlier this year actually called me and said, "Hey, we're referring people to your plugin, and we've got a lot of people that you've referred to us. You should really look at how you can what they call a pricing accelerator onto on top of Twilio." So that's kind of the result is what you're seeing here, which are this new line of plugins where they integrate with my website called PhoneArray, which is a middle tier layer that allows me to make a few dollars or so on the plugin or on the phone numbers, and fractions of a penny maybe on the messages and minutes and that type of thing. And now what that does is the idea, of course, it's more long term because I'm still building this up, but it will help me continue to focus and make these the best plugins possible, and do it in a way that puts you in control as far as your brand. And that's where this plugin brander platform idea came out of, was that I love using WordPress because when you use WordPress, and when I create these things as a plugin, it really gives you an opportunity to run this on your own website under your own domain. And then with the added branding stuff that's going on, it really supports you as a consultant or a marketer directly, as opposed to in a way that now can support me as well. So by working together on this stuff, we can I think we can, by teaming up, we all will benefit. So that's kind of where all this came out of. So let's see, let me just check in on some questions here. Okay. Yes, this webinar is being recorded. Believe it or not, this is the first webinar I've done myself using GoToWebinar. So it is recording, and hopefully all goes well there. I have heard, stories where it fails, but we'll see. Pricing, I'll go over some of the pricing stuff, Mark, in more detail. Mark, you're also a different Mark asking about creating similar brander on our websites. Okay, well, yeah, this plugin brander, as I'm calling it here, it is a plugin, so it has the potential of being its own, product where you guys could maybe get your hands on it. Although right now it's a little complex to set up. However, there's a possibility it could be available. I don't really have plans to release it, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't know of anything like this out there, so I can't refer you to anything else that would do this. So let's just jump into how this works right now. When you first log in, you're going to see basically nothing right here. Sorry, I'm getting some more questions coming in. And all you have to do is click on new campaign to get started. By the way, there's a little support tab here, and I am using a new support desk because I'm just trying to really stay on top of the support for these plugins. And as of now, there's everything's up to date and all tickets are answered and all that. So, but if you ever need help, you can send an email. In this case, I have it prefixed with branding at phonearray.zendesk.com or support at PhoneArray. It doesn't really matter. Anything at phonearray.zendesk.com will work. And then there's an overview video here. Okay, so let's just take a look at one I've already set up. If I click on this one, so what I'm doing, my intention here is to create a new plugin based on what's called the plugin source right here. There are two plugins. There's the MMS Marketer and Mobile Marketer plugins that are available right now for you guys to rebrand and resell. And when you do that, all the auto updating is handled by my server. So whoever you get this plugin to, whatever website it's installed on, it will continue to communicate back to this website to get the update information, and it will keep your branding in place. So, of course, that was the kind of the key to this thing working. Is it's one thing to be able to rebrand a plugin and sell it, but usually you're on the hook for updates. Auto updates usually aren't built in, and it's just a big mess and a problem. All of that is built into this system, and what happens is it builds the plugin on the fly, creates a zip file for your customer to download, and then all future updates are through the system as well. All right, so let me show you the finished product. Maybe that'll help. So what I've done here is I've set up a plugin, I've downloaded, and I've installed it on another website. Let me see which tab I had that in here. Okay, it's on this site. I have another site running the plugin. If you recognize the name, I had set up Supersonic MMS as the name of the plugin, and it's installed here. And it's activated. And I haven't logged in here yet, so let me just do that. Okay. So here's all my testing and playing around I've done on this website, and you'll see that this is the MMS plugin. It has all the same features, but it's branded with its own logo, its own icon here on the left. And if we look in the list of plugins, you'll see that it's called Supersonic MMS. Now it says my name, but that's because that's what I entered into the form. So it says my name, it links to chadwyatt.com. The visit plugin site links to whatever URL I set up as well. And so again, this is a totally different website. This is different. Again, some of you might have the Pro add-on to this, which allows you to do some branding, but it's only on your local site. So you can change the icon and change the logo with the Pro version of the plugin. However, the plugin is still actually, MMS Marketer, and it's not downloadable or resellable. And if you did, it would actually just revert back to my original branding. By doing it through the plugin brander platform, it creates your own version of the plugin that no matter who downloads it or installs it, it keeps your branding in place. So again, there's the name. That's the name I gave it. Here's the description. I'd go a little more in depth than that maybe, but this is the link that was back to the plugin URL. Again, this is your own website. Create a little simple web page on your own website for the plugin if you want. It could just be a sales page. And then the author name and the author URL. And these could be the same. It doesn't really matter. These could just go to chadwyatt.com or any website I want. They don't even have to be different. The menu text right here that you enter here is what you see over here on the left, Supersonic MMS. And the menu icon, I can go into a little detail. Let me know if you have any questions, because the icon is a 20 by 20. Recommend that you set it up as a PNG file, 24. I think it's 24K, or however they say that, 24-bit PNG file, which creates an alpha transparency that's very smooth, so that it's nice and crisp looking. Let's see, and then the logo here which is what you see at the top, all you have to do is create these images. It sounds simple. Some of you might not have any, experience with creating logos, etc. There are probably some places online you could go, Google some, there's free software to help you with doing basic images and stuff. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. In fact, I believe you can actually leave this blank and it'll just not show a logo. But oops, let's go back to, I just want to show you a little bit about how this logo works. If I look at this image, you'll see that the image is actually bigger. Are you guys seeing all my screen, by the way? Do you see, is anything cut off? Let me know if you're not seeing it. But this image is about double the size that that you see when it's installed on the plugin. There's a reason for that. I'm on a MacBook Pro with Retina display, so the height of this is actually 75 pixels, but I set my logo to be 150 pixels, basically double. This is 150 pixels tall. But what happens is when it's on a Retina display, now you guys might not be able to see the difference. It's probably not really coming through on the webinar. But when I look at it on my computer here, it's super crisp and sharp. And that's because the Retina display has double the pixel density, basically, that a normal computer might have. So by making the image twice the size that it needs to be, so again, this is 75 pixels tall, the space here that you have, by creating it 150 pixels tall, when you're editing it in, say, Photoshop or whatever you use, it just means that if someone's on a Retina display, they're going to see a super nice, crisp image here. And the pixels aren't even distinguishable on a Retina display. So keep that in mind when you're creating this. Now on the actual icon over here, that has to be 20 by 20. Don't make that, if you make that double size, it's actually going to bump this stuff out and it's going to be really off. So keep that at 20. Okay, so this is what your client might see. So I mean, I even had someone ask me if can I rebrand the plugin multiple times, so that if I have let's say I have a real estate office that wants to buy this system from me, even if they're paying you for the service, you could actually brand their own version of the plugin with all their own stuff. So it could be their own downloadable version of this. Maybe it's a downloadable system that the real estate office allows their people to use and install on their own website, whatever it is. And based on whatever deal you make with them, yes, you can rebrand these things over and over again. There's no limit on how many times you can do that. So you can have this branded version of it and a different one for a different client, or maybe you want to do marketing tests where one's has maybe a real estate theme to it. Maybe it's real estate MMS marketer, and then another one's like automotive MMS or whatever. You could do that, and everything works just the same. You would just have more than one of the same plugin branded showing up in the list here. So you can create, like I said, there's no limit. You can create as many branded versions of each of these two plugins as you want, and any plugins I add in the future that's part of this will also be available to do that. Okay, let's go back in here. By the way, I don't plan on taking a whole, I got into a lot of detail in the beginning of this as far as some background and stuff, but this is really a pretty simple, straightforward form. There's not a lot of settings to it, and you can get up and running pretty quick. So now this right here, when you first, what I was starting to say was that I don't plan on this being a real long webinar unless you guys have questions. So this link here, now let me just start out, let me go back here and let's click on new campaign. So I fill out the form, I select the plugin I want to rebrand, and Notice down here there is no download link yet, and that's because I haven't actually created the plugin. So once you click save and go back to the list, you'll see it in the list. Let me just go ahead and do it real quick. I'm just going to pick some random stuff. Doesn't really matter what I enter here. Plugin URL. Let's see. And then when you go to upload your icon, you will be able to pick from a library. If you've already uploaded an image, it'll be available here. So you could just use one of these. Insert that. So the familiar WordPress upload process. Just select what you want to use and click full. Should default to full size, I believe, but go ahead and click insert into post, and that's all there is to that. All right, so there is the new one I just created. I can download it right now if I click this button. I'm not going to do it right now. I don't want to jam up my connection here, but if you click that, it'll download the zip file. Then you could upload it to, there's two ways that you could distribute this plugin. You could create a sales page. You could use JVZoo, for example, and JVZoo has a feature where you can upload the file and let JVZoo deliver the download. You don't even have to have your own download page. So that's one way to do it, or you could have the zip file hosted on your own website and that sort of thing. Or you could just link the download link when someone clicks download, to download the plugin. This is the link you would use right here. So if you create a button and it's linked to this address, it's going to generate a zip file download automatically. Now you might not want to use that because if someone looks at the domain name of the link or whatever, they would see PhoneArray, and this stuff would be in there. So you might not want people to see that. That's up to you. Different people have different preferences, and so if you don't want people to see that, really, you would probably need to download the zip file and host it yourself. Again, if you do that and they upload it, if there's an update available, it's going to prompt them, and say there was an update, and it'll just update automatically. So there's really no problem with doing it that way. That's fine to do it that way. So again, your preference. Let me check in on the questions here again. Yes, I think I just addressed that, Robert, about the different versions for different markets. If I addressed that before you got on, then yes, you can create as many as these as you want. You could create one that's labeled and branded for, say, automotive, one for restaurants, one for coffee shops, one for a specific client, real estate. It doesn't matter. You can do as many of those as you want. Let's see. Is it possible to add the PNG in the description for image branding? I don't understand the question mark, so maybe rephrase that and let me know. I'm missing that one. I want to set up an MMS system for my church. Is this system appropriate for that purpose, or is one of your other plugins more appropriate? Okay, so Joe, for your church, I would recommend the MMS, the mobile marketer, because that's for broadcasting, right, to lists. So let me go into what that looks like. If anyone, let's see. Do you have any plan to make this service available in the UK anytime soon? That is dependent upon Twilio, Robert. Twilio is behind the scenes here, although you don't see it anywhere. I guess that's a definition of behind the scenes. So everything goes through my website, PhoneArray, and PhoneArray talks to Twilio for everything. And again, that was something Twilio encouraged me to do, and it totally makes sense so that I can, make a living and provide a service for you guys too. So if and when Twilio opens up, this MMS for the UK, then yes, definitely it'll be there. However, right now, it's only available in the US and Canada right now. Let's see. Mark says, "Oh, you're saying in the description use in the description to say use a 20 by 20 image PNG. I think I had something like that in there, but let's see. Maybe I didn't. Oops, wrong one." Yeah, I don't specify PNG, so I probably should do that. But 20 by 20 is so. All right. Yep. Yeah, Mark. I've learned that you cannot be too clear. It's a great idea to add that as much detail as possible into this stuff, so to make it as easy as possible for everyone. Okay. Let's see what else. I was going to show you a little bit of the plugins, I guess. Does anyone have other questions about the rebranding platform? Let's see. I've got some more coming in here. Can you quickly demo the mobile marketer plugin? I thought you were going to do that. Yeah, but got distracted. Yeah, I'm easily distracted as I'm looking at these questions. So let me get back to that. Okay, let's take a look. So this is the mobile marketer plugin right here. So let's see if I got something set up. Now I've got some demos set up here I've been looking at trying to get people that are in what is today, I guess, referenced to as direct sales. And years ago it was called, multi-level marketing, network marketing, all that kind of stuff. Today, I guess the keyword is direct sales. I think the MMS marketer could be a great tool for those in direct sales. And so that's an idea for you guys to explore. You guys can create the plugin, create a simple download or a sales page, and then sell. That brings up another point. I'm beginning to integrate with some membership software so that you can easily or more easily sell, say, access to some of this stuff on a membership type of level. But let's take a look at this, and this example I have here, and I've set up some images here. This is it's set up to be a presentation to the person in direct marketing. I'm trying to show them, hey, you can use this to recruit people, to promote your products. Maybe you want to give out free samples, and you want people, in order to get the free sample, they have to send in a text to this phone number or call the number, and they get a coupon back, and you get a lead, and all that sort of thing. So there's the whole direct sales angle. And I encourage you guys to experiment, especially with how easy it is to experiment with Facebook marketing these days, to put an ad. It doesn't have to be anything. I mean, just you could test the ad first and test a simple landing page without even have you don't even need to have the full sales page or anything set up. You can just be like, enter your email and I'll email you more info, after they've done that. I mean, you don't have to have a fully automated process in order to test some of this stuff. So keep that in mind. Don't let technology slow you down or feeling like you have to have everything set up perfectly before you can try to sell it. But experiment with the marketing on the front end to see if is it even worth setting up. Put $20 into a Facebook ad and see, am I going to get some leads off of this? And I am in no way a Facebook expert. I mean, not even barely a novice at it, but I know how to create an ad, but I'm still trying to figure out what works as far as targeting and all that. My friend Ryan Shaw is great at that type of stuff, so I need to get a hold of him. But so anyway, this is an example. of the MMS. Now, again, this is branded, so this could be on your own website, could be on a client's website, someone that downloaded it from you, someone that paid you $50 for it or whatever, could be using it. Let's see, Joe, I think you wanted the demo on the mobile marketer platform. Yeah, let me know if you have specific questions about this. Most people have already seen a lot of this, but if there's something you want to see, let me know specifically. There's these tabs here for your main settings, the voice, text to speech. So if someone calls the number, they can hear a text to speech greeting, or you can upload an MP3 file that you record and do it that way. Enter the phone number you want people to be transferred to when they press 0. I showed you the images, and here are the notifications. I can have as many notifications sent as I want. So anytime a lead comes in, I can get email notifications and text message notifications. So if I want to follow up on them right away. Okay, let me check. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and give out the link. If you guys, I know probably most of you already have access to this. If you don't, let me, how do I do this here? I think I can do it right here. Okay, I'm going to type in the URL where you can get all this stuff. So everyone, there's a link I just sent out. This is where you can. Now the only thing I ask is this is going to be a little bit on the honor system. You should only get the PLR rights if you've already purchased one of these plugins, because everyone pretty much so far that has access to this bought the plugin and then upgraded to the PLR rights. So if you haven't actually bought, and I think most of you have, but if you haven't actually bought the plugin it's not for me necessarily. I mean, I love to get the extra $50 or whatever, but this is out of fairness to the people that have paid for the plugin and the PLR rights, and I don't want them to feel like they're they could have saved some money. But there'll be more added. By the way, I do want to say that if you get this before the timer expires, I think there's a couple day timer on it. This new phone call tracker plugin will be added to your account for no additional cost. So when this phone call tracker, the call tracker plugin is ready and available, that will be added to the branding platform for either you to rebrand and resell and or download and use yourself. There won't be any additional cost if you get on board before the page I just put out there expires. So there's some coding I actually have to do to kind of filter the available plugins when you're in there, but that'll be part of the deal when I add that. Okay, so that's out there. Click that link if you want to get access to it right away. Okay, let me just get some more questions rolling in here. Is that for the logo as well? Yes, PNGs tend to work best. Transparent PNGs here. However, if you just want to have a square block logo, and that's fine too. There's other ways to do it depending on how familiar you are with like Photoshop and all that. But I always recommend doing a transparent PNG. Eric's asking, can you edit the buttons, forms, etc.? I'm not sure the specifics of that question, but no, the only things that are editable on the plugin itself when you're doing the rebranding are the name, like the name of the plugin, the description, the menu text, the icon, the logo, and what you see on this form here. If you modify, just as a word of warning, if you modify the code and you know how to do that, it's gonna be replaced. You could, if you know what you're doing, you could remove the auto updates, which kind of defeats the purpose. But so if you want to tweak the plugin and change additional things, as long as it still interfaces with PhoneArray, I don't really mind. But I'm not going to. If you break it, don't expect support. So Just keep that in mind. Now I could add some additional options here, like if there's like, hey, I'd really love it if you could change the text on this button or whatever. Let me know, and maybe we can go into a little more detail on some of the rebranding options. Thanks for your feedback, Mark. Okay, could you brief us on your future direction, i.e. a comprehensive solution for hosting on WordPress? Is there a way to patch your old plugins into Mark Helton-like solution? Okay, yeah, Mark's a friend of mine. He does some great stuff. I am definitely, the future of this thing is to just make this the best, kind of a no-brainer, all-around solution available, and for it to really stand alone in the market, as far as to be able to brand this stuff under your own identity, but also have all the functions, everything that gives you an advantage over competition, and be able to offer things to your clients that no one else can. And if they do, it's got to be under someone else's look and brand and et cetera versus yours. So that's definitely my long-term goal. And since I am doing this through PhoneArray, that is what will enable me to do this. So I know some of you have existing Twilio numbers, by the way. If you have an existing Twilio number that you want to use with these plugins, it is possible to do that, but we have to move your number from your account into my account. It becomes your own sub account of mine, but we have to coordinate with Twilio for that. But yes, we can move numbers so that they work with these plugins if you have something in Twilio already. The phone numbers, again, someone had asked about pricing. I have a couple different pricing plans out there, and I'm going to try to kind of merge these together. But one plugin, it's $4.95 for a phone number. So that gives me a few dollars per phone number to put towards my time and effort into developing these plugins. One plugin, I marketed it as the same price, $4.95. So you might now, I actually didn't update the price in the database, so it still actually is $1.95 on the mobile marketer plugin currently. However, it was marketed and sold as $4.95 per phone number, so I will probably be tweaking that at some point in the future. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. If I can get enough people using this thing, then $1.95 could potentially work. But we'll see. So the messaging, I have a little bit of a markup. Like, for example, an incoming text message in Twilio is like 3/4 of a penny, and I've got it rounded up to a penny. So it gives me a 1/4 of a penny markup on the messages. The MMS messages are, the cost in Twilio is 2 cents, I believe, and I think I have it at 2.25, maybe 2.5. I'm not sure, but it's a fraction of a penny. Let's see, Mark. How would we sell this to MLMers? Could you explain? How I would use it, or at least my thinking, what I was beginning to experiment with was for them to have business cards where they pass out those business cards and it says, get a free sample, or ask a question like, what's the key to making money in this economy? Call this number now and listen. Get a mobile presentation on your phone, and you can have up to 10 images that you send to the person. So you could actually come up with a decent little presentation about the opportunity. You could have another presentation about the products. You could have one, just a single coupon reply for a free product sample, stuff like that. That's the things that come to mind. I haven't done this yet, but those are the angles I was looking at as far as that goes. Let's see here. Questions. I think I addressed that one too, about the network marketers. Does the plugin handle opt-ins / enrollments? I think you mean like subscriptions to a list, Joe. Yes, the mobile marketer plugin builds lists. The MMS marketer does not build lists. It only generates leads. So one's more of a lead generation. The other one's more of a list builder. What does the call tracker cost? Well, if you already have the PLR rights to this, then that will show up when it's done. It'll be added to your account for no extra cost. So if you're not signed up yet today, go ahead and do that over the next couple days, and then you'll see that. Anyone after that deadline, in the next 48 hours or so, will have to buy it separately, and the cost will probably be about I've been selling these for about 47 a piece, so it'll be about 50 if you buy it on its own. Okay, again, more questions on the call tracker. Let's go into the call tracking plugin. This is this is in development right now. We're looking at the dev website. The idea for this one will be you'll set up I'm not even going to show it to you because it's going to look a lot like I kind of use an old plugin and start gutting it out and adding new stuff and try to reuse a lot of the code if I can. But there'll be it allows you to set up forwarding phone numbers for tracking for marketing purposes. So a lot of people that do lead generation, let's say you're doing lead generation for a roofing contractor, the idea would be you would use something like this to track how many leads you're generating for that client. And then actually, I think I do have this basic form set up here where you can set up where do you want the call to go? Do you want the call recorded? Here are the voice options. Again, if you want a greeting, you can. So you can tell the person, please hold while we transfer you. This call may be recorded, that type of stuff. You can also use the MP3 if you want. And then this whisper function is will be optional to where when the client picks up the call, they can hear a greeting that says, like right here, this lead is from Chad White. You are now connected, so that they know they're getting a lead from me. The stuff that's not done yet, there will also be notifications on here as an option, but what's not done yet is the reporting. So I'm working on the reporting where you will be able to see this client has this many calls this month. The other thing it's not on this form yet is what constitutes a lead. And most of the time we do that by setting a time limit. So if the call lasts, say, more than 30 seconds, it's probably because it's a legitimate call. If it was less than 30 seconds, it was probably either a wrong number or telemarketer you just had to hang up on or whatever. So it'll let you set that threshold of what's a lead, and of course you can kind of audit those by listening to the recordings if you want, and all that stuff will be in here, graphs, etc. There's going to be some additional features. I have a friend, by the way, that is a counselor, and he specializes in counseling teens who are in the self-harm type stuff, and he's kind of an expert in his field, and more people are looking to him for help, whether it's the parents but also other counselors. So what we're building into this will be a way to track call quantities by minutes. So let's say you have a client, let's say it's a counselor, you set them up with a special phone number, and they will be able to generate reports by their client. This teen's parents or that teenager spent, say, 90 minutes on the phone with him throughout the month. A lot of times this is lost time because he'll answer questions, the parents will call him, and they'll end up being on the phone for 15 minutes or 30 minutes. But because it was a phone call, he didn't track it, or typically they come into the office to see him. And so he doesn't typically bill for phone calls. but if someone is a talker and they ask a lot of questions, I mean, you could spend hours on the phone between multiple clients each month, and that would be time kind of lost. So the goal for this will be to create a way for those types of professionals to be able to track their time on the phone and even generate, maybe automated billing statements to where it sends them an email and they have to go in and pay with a credit card, stuff like that. So that's kind of the idea where the call tracker plugin is going. That's the direction for it in the future. Eric, you say something about an opt-in form. Can you add buttons? There's no opt-in form yet for any of these plugins. That will come probably in a future update. A lot of this stuff was built into an old plugin. My original SMS WordPress plugin has a lot of features in it. This one will eventually catch up to that one, hopefully in the near future. Yeah, billing, question about billing. This one especially, the call tracker, there'll be some multiple billing options in the future. I'm experimenting with some plugin integration for membership. I forget the name of it, but it's a free plugin that has some pretty cool basic membership levels you can create sign-up pages, and then so let's say you want to charge for access to this plugin. The MMS plugin has that Pro feature add-on where, again, the Pro version, by the way, isn't yet in the Brander system. That will be coming. It's not there quite yet. Where a sub user on your WordPress site will be able to log in and just see their lists and their campaigns, etc. And let's say you just want to charge $50 a month or $100 a month and for access to it. That is on the way. That'll be coming. Now you can do that today if you want, just by saying you could create a simple PayPal subscription. However, you would probably have to set up the account manually, so it's not automated yet. But that's the stuff I am working on, a lot of that, and that will be definitely in the future. Because again, since I'm setting this up as PhoneArray is in the background, and I make a little bit off each phone number, I want you guys to sell as many phone numbers as possible and be as successful as possible in this. So I definitely want you to have that ability. It's just a matter of how fast I can get there. And all that. Let's see. Yeah, pricing info into the. Yeah, I need to. I'm working on. I used to have. It kind of got broken, but I had an area in here where it showed the pricing for the plugin, and that'll be showing up again soon. Can you send a video instead of a picture? Potentially, but not yet. Twilio will send. The thing is, Twilio, you have to get the format of the file in like exactly the perfect format for the mobile device. And Twilio right now does that for you for pictures, for images. If I figure out how to send a video, that would be cool, because that'd be a really nice feature. I haven't figured that out yet. I looked into it briefly. I think that'd be an awesome option there, Damien, but I haven't gotten to that yet, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to figure it out or not. So hopefully Twilio will. Again, I think I covered the call tracker, Matt. Yeah, Mark, really looking forward to future development and helping. Yeah, by the way, I'm open to suggestions. Definitely, I want this to be good for everybody, so don't hesitate in sending me ideas and things that you would like to see built into this. Yeah, lead gen, Joe, you're asking about doing this as a lead gen type of thing. The call tracker, yeah, that would work, as well as even the MMS marketer is set up as kind of a lead gen as well. That's the focus of both. So you could set it up as a service. Mike says, I bought MMS and the mobile marketer, or you bought MMS and the upgrade, but not mobile marketer. If I want to add mobile marketer, what would it cost? Do I need to buy the mobile marketer plugin and another upgrade? No. If you bought the PLR or the upgrade for the resale rights, you have access. And if you don't, let me know. I think I emailed everyone, but it's possible that I missed some people because it wasn't an automated process in the beginning because I was still working on it. So if I missed you, send an email to support@phonearray.zendesk.com and I'll make sure you get access to it. But you don't need to buy. If you already bought one of the plugins at 47 and then you bought the upgrade for the PLR rights, then you don't need to buy anything else at this time. Yeah, polling feature, Matt, would be a great addition in the future. Similar to analytic call tracker. Yeah, I've seen analytical call tracker. Looks like a good product. But I don't have an account, and I haven't. But yeah, the idea would be it'd be similar because I assume that they're doing lead, tracking, lead call tracking, and all that type of thing. So it would be similar to that, but it'll be your own deal. It'd be your PLR version of that would be the idea. So my goal, since we're doing it this way, will be to create a system as good or better. Again, I don't know the specific features, but that will become yours that you could sell as your own deal. What is the buy link? I put that in the. Let's see. Let me copy this into. Make sure everyone has it. I think you do, but it's just phonearray.com/webinar. I'm going to send this to everybody. But yeah, that's where you can get the PLR rights and access to the branding platform. Again, the only thing is if you have not purchased one of the plugins, please do that. So, and there are links. Let me show you the, let me bring that up. I think I have it over here. Let me do it this way. Yes, when you go here, you'll see there's a couple days where I'm going to guarantee that if you get in before this timer, then you won't have to, your bonus essentially will be the phone call tracking plugin when that's available, which will probably be a few more days, but pretty soon. And then these are links to the plugins. If you haven't purchased one or the other, please do so. And then you can, at the bottom here, you can sign up for the PLR rights. So we sell the number plus the service to our customers. There's going to be different options for that. The MMS marketer, again, that's the only one that has the pro add-on right now. That'll come in the near future. We'll have the pro version for the mobile marketer and probably the call tracker plugin to where you can create packages. Again, you can do this right now for MMS marketer, where you can create a package and assign it to a user on your site. So let's say you charge $50 a month for access and you get one phone number with that account or two phone numbers, whatever you decide. Let's see. Where would we send suggestions that you will respond to? Send it to the support address. And let me go ahead and type that in here. Actually, let's do it this way. It's just say suggestions at phonearray.zendesk.com. if you send an email to that address, that will create a ticket, and that'll ensure that we don't lose it. Email is, I miss emails, and so I try to keep on top of it, but I get so many emails, and I'm using this SaneBox, add-on to Gmail, and that's helping some, but sometimes it filters away emails that I need to see, and sometimes I miss them, but email's crazy. But if you send it to that email address, which goes to Zendesk, that'll create a ticket, which will be trackable and all that stuff. It would be awesome to have a drip campaign once they opt in to get us. Yeah, that's a potential add-on in the future for the mobile marketer plugin, Eric. So yeah, okay. If there's anything else, go ahead and drop it in the question box. Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this up here. So if there's any questions, something I didn't cover, or you just want to ask about, go ahead and do that now before we wrap things up. So thanks for bearing with me. This was definitely not a polished presentation of any kind. This was really just an informational thing. And I didn't have time to do anything fancy anyway, but that's not really the way pretty laid back. So I want you guys to just get the info you need. And again, most of you have already purchased this, so it isn't really a sales pitch. It's more of a how do you use it type of thing and get feedback. Yeah, Johnny, thanks for coming. Thanks everybody for showing up. I would, if you want me to, send me an email. Again, you can send it to the help desk. You can send me regular email if you want, if it's not like an urgent type of thing, but you can just send chad@chadwyatt.com, and I will. There's a good chance I'll see it, but there's no guarantee because, again, it's a little crazy in the inbox. But if it's very important or you need help, send it to the support address. If you have general questions or just want to kind of maybe discuss some ideas or whatever, chad@chadwyatt.com works.